All right, now you're wondering, no, I'm not in my garage, but we are in beautiful Tucson, Arizona. Yeah, what the hell are we doing out here? Well, we're out here because every year my seafood has a seminar and I always go to it, and that's why we're here. So we're here for a while. We're shooting some video here, and I'm saying here a lot. More than when I say yeah, basically. All right, so what are we gonna work on today? I don't know how many videos we're gonna shoot today or this week, depending on how lazy I am, but we're gonna work on one thing in particular, the Tanza motion, okay? Let's understand exactly what Tan is, how to apply it, what's the proper way when we're doing it with the double sticky hands, okay? So first, let's see. There we go. Now I can see it for the view. I might have been talking and we're not. All right, first of all, Tanza motion. Just do the first Tanza motion here. Good, just doing the Tanza motion. Good. All right, there's a couple of key components that you want to think of when you're doing the Tanza motion. A lot of times when you're doing the Tanza motion, let's see. First of all, first thing is coverage. Coverage as far as into the center line. Where exactly is the edge of the tanzao when you're doing this? Is it the middle finger should be in here? The palm should be in the center? Should it be the entire arm caved in? Let's just understand exactly the main structural point, that when you do the tanza, you want the tanza arm, like how Robert has his tanza arm here, you want that aimed into the opponent's center line, but you basically want the forearm aimed, okay? So what does that mean? If here's my target right in front of me, okay? I don't care if my whole hand is into the center. What I want to look for is basically the forearm to the target point within the center. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, don't make it unnatural. So a lot of times people try to force it in, you'll lose the triangle aspect. If you understand the structure of how Wing Chun works, the structure is this way. This is a triangle. Look how I'm forming a triangle here. But if I bring my elbow all the way in here, this is no longer triangle. Half the side is gone. Okay. So from here, if you look at it, I hold my hand from this position, look how I just make a simple adjustment. The elbow's slightly inside the elbow line here, but what? My forearm to the center, to the opponent's center line is what I'm doing, okay? Now, the second most important thing, Robert, face this way actually, move a little closer. Turn around, turn the other way. Which way? This way. You can tell we're prepared. Okay, the second, two and three more important things is look at how the hand structure is. When you look at the hand structure here, there's this V formation. Look how it looks like a V, okay? This V formation is very important to make the structure work. But this is also important too. This tanza being flat is very important. See here, like he's holding my hand flat? That's important to make it work fully, okay? You have it here. He tries to hold it up here, this motion here, and he holds it center here. If I push just a little here, it's weak. He actually you can feel it yourself. You can actually feel the muscle used for him to hold this position by me pushing a little off to the side. But if he goes flat here, okay, and then just concentrates the center here, he can feel it. He can hold it much stronger. Okay, that's just how the overall structure is involved with that. All right. So, going into that aspect there, let's move back a little. Which way? Okay, there we go. There we go. I'm gonna get bitching from everyone. Oh, the lighting's terrible. All right. Well, the lighting's terrible. This is the best I could do. Okay. Anyway, so we're in double sticky hands. All right, or single sticky hands, and we're rolling up and down motion. Here's my up and down motion, okay? Couple mistakes that happen when you're doing it. A lot of times when you're doing this, someone punches, and what happens? You end up eating it. Why are you eating it? Well, couple things. In the Tanza motion, what's happened? This force, more often than not, you want the opponent aimed into your center line. But what happens, whether you're a beginner or you don't really know what you're doing, this force here is pushing into this way, not aimed at my center line directly, but Fukusa usually ends up aimed over here. So when push comes to shove and this motion pushes here, guess what? What's your natural tendency? To push out. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to move out, look like it's moving out so much like this, or I could just hold it here. But if the intention is here where I have just a little push to the outside, guess what? When he moves his hand, you'll see a jerk. He moves his hand, just move it out of the way. It'll spring this way, okay? That means what? My focus is not the target. My focus is actually his hand, which is a no-no. That's a massive no-no. okay? So a lot of times to alleviate that, what you want to concentrate in is when you feel the force, okay, whether it's coming this way or this way, don't push back to him. All you want to do is have your hand in the center line and make sure you hold the structure. And if you cover you have the forearm into the center line and you cover it, it'll hold. It'll structurally hold. But if you end up pushing it here by fighting against the force, he can force it further and push. Just punch, just punch. So he can force that in. Okay, or if I have it this way, like this, he punches, I have to use muscle like this. Okay, but look, if I hold my structure here like this, flat, the V formation here, flat, covering my center, when he punches, I don't have to block anymore. He punches, it already blocks, right? You don't see me go out like this to apply the technique. Structure done correctly, you don't have to do anything, right? But if you see him like this, he punches and I go boom, I have to shoot out the tan, you're not doing it structurally correct. You're trying to add the structure at the last second. If I'm structurally correct and I neutralize this point that I'm touching here, as soon as he punches, already I can feel it here. It already comes into play. It'll come into play. But if it's not structurally correct, what happens? I have to go like this and apply it. But here, the cut already here, he can feel it already. It feels it in. But if I go like this, with my hands up, guess what? He slides right through. All right, so that's the main point you want to understand with Tanza. Very common tendency to push outside your center line. Stay within the center line. Another common tendency is basically when you're rolling, and let's say you're in your single stick rolling hand motion here, you're rolling this motion, don't do the push-up like I've talked often about. Don't push this way, pushing, see how you see my hand collapsing in and out. If you can imagine that this is, the amount I touch is 5 pounds, okay? I don't go from 5 pounds and then relax and then try to go back to 5 pounds, because if I do that, when I go back here, as soon as I try to go forward and he times it correctly, he can easily shoot forward. What happens is, from the moment I touch, the 5 pounds I have here, I'm controlling that 5 pounds. I may move 4.9 pounds in order to move to the next motion, but I still have total control of that point of touch. There's no gap in between the motion. You don't see here and then this gap. See that little gap in between here? I gap here and try to do that. If you do that, that's when you end up eating the punch. But if I'm here, and always the entire time I'm controlling that point of touch, controlling that point of touch, controlling the point of touch. And he feels it, he can't feel the point to leave. Hard for him to leave. And I'm here, I'm covering it. When as soon as he punches, it already blocked, and then I can just apply my attack. Okay? So that is very important. Tanzao is not simple. It's difficult. It took me a while to actually understand that, because more often than not, I feel the force. I want to push out to the force. Okay. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Maybe we'll do more videos. But for now, I'm hitting a hot tub. Not with Robert though. All right.